When I say that doing long-form content has changed my life, it is not in the way that you think. If you don't know me, my name is Haley and I'm your realistic and balanced bestie, helping you build a stronger brain and body. Today we are talking about the 6 things that YouTube has done for my life in the last 6 months of consistently posting. Before we get into all 6 things, please make sure that you are subscribed because it really does help me out here, and obviously, if you couldn't tell, I am a very new YouTuber, so I would highly appreciate it. And be sure to check out the links below for a bunch of free resources for your fitness and mindset journey. And with all of that being said, let's get into the 6 things that YouTube has done for my life. First, I want to talk about why I decided to start posting on YouTube. And this is something that I genuinely have wanted to do for forever. And I feel like every single person says that. And honestly, at the end of the day, it is just excuses of why I never did it before now. But it has always been something that I've been super drawn towards and just really felt like I need to do, because I'm just a long form content girly through and through. That is the main thing that I'm watching. If I'm at home, I have a YouTube video playing, I'm listening to podcasts all day while I'm working, I'm listening to podcasts while I'm driving. I am a long form girly, and I do love TikTok, I do love scrolling, I get sucked in just like everybody else. But when it comes to things that I actually enjoy making and filming and doing, it's long form content. I try to do TikTok, I try to stay on top of Instagram, I try to do all of it, but it's just not as fun to me. I don't feel as energetic about doing it, and it's just not really something that I'm like, oh my god, yes, I can't believe I get to do this. You know what I mean? So YouTube was something that I was always like, this is what I know I need to be doing. I need to be spreading things out. I need to be really doing some deep dives and just giving as much value as possible, because that's what I like to consume. And out of all of the content creator teachers and people and things like that I follow, they all say to create what you consume. So YouTube just made sense for me. And that did mean that I had to learn how to record long form videos, how to actually set up everything, how to edit long form videos. And there has definitely been a little bit of a learning curve, not a huge one, because I was posting on TikTok pretty consistently. I have been doing things on social media for quite a long time because obviously I'm in my 20s. That's just something that happens. We're all pretty familiar with social media. But when it comes to editing long form content, I know that I have a lot more to learn, but it's also been really fun to try to figure it out, which I think is another one of the differences for me when it comes to long form versus short form content. I found myself getting really frustrated trying to edit short form content because I am constantly just like, I need to make this shorter. I'm doing too much. There's too much going on. I need to stop talking. I need to just shorten this. And it was just never something that I really enjoyed. So overall, all this to say, YouTube was something that I've been really excited about, and I'm really glad that I just took the dive to do it, because obviously at the time of me recording this, I have, I think, 54 subscribers, maybe even like 52. I honestly have no idea. But in my head, I'm like, that's 52 people that are actually listening to what I have to say and hopefully learning something and getting something out of these videos, these episodes, whatever it is. And that's a big deal to me because I didn't post anywhere that I'm posting on YouTube. I haven't told really anybody in my personal life. Not a single one of my subscribers is somebody that I actually know in real life, because I just didn't really feel comfortable sharing it yet. And if anything, I really only post about my podcast because that feels like a safer environment to me, because you can't really see the number of subscribers, you can't see how many people are watching or listening to an episode on something like Spotify. So it's less scary for me to be like, oh, I posted a podcast episode and only link to the podcast episode when I also posted it on YouTube. But for some reason, it just felt scary to talk about YouTube and to actually be like, oh, I'm trying to do this. But overall, I think that one of the biggest things that YouTube has done for my life is bring me more discipline. And this is something that I've always really struggled with, because I have a lot of, call it imposter syndrome, call it perfectionist, whatever it is. I get so in my head and I will hype something up and I will end up actually putting things off because I know that I don't have the capacity to do it at the full extent that I want to do it in that moment. And committing to just posting one video every single week for 6 months on YouTube was something that I was like, okay, this is going to take some actual discipline. This is going to take some planning. This is going to take some prepping. You have to switch around your schedule for this, because I do work a 9-to-5 job. I had to figure out when I'm doing a scripting day, when I'm going to do a filming day, when I'm editing. And to me, it was something that was a lot more set in stone than short form content. Again, for me, short form content has always felt like I would tell myself, oh, I need to post every day, or oh, I need to make a filming schedule, an editing schedule, I need to do this and this and this, but it never stuck. But when it comes to something like YouTube, it felt so much bigger, and it felt like something that I was like, okay, if I'm committing to this, I have to actually fully commit to it. And I actually think that the discipline that it's given me from posting on YouTube has kind of trickled over into my short form content as well, because while I'm still not super consistent with it, it has helped me kind of get a little bit more of a schedule and be like, okay, if I'm taking this day to film and edit for YouTube, then I can take this day to film and edit for short form content. And it's such a small thing, but it really has just made me feel so much more disciplined and so much more on a schedule. I have such a strict Notion routine that I do now, and I'm so on top of it, and it's honestly kind of exciting. I have fun with it now, which is not something that I have ever done with any schedule or any kind of side hustle, side thing that I'm doing in the past. It's never been something where I'm organized and actually enjoying the process. So this has been so much fun, and it's also just been really nice to have some actual discipline and some actual structure to my routines. The second thing that posting on YouTube has done for my life is given me credibility. And again, obviously at the time of me recording this, I barely have 50 subscribers, but it has given me credibility in a sense that when I'm posting on YouTube and when I'm making these really long form content videos, I do end up posting them in short form clips to my other social medias, which I don't know if this is true or not, but this is how I look at it when I see somebody else posting a clip from like a podcast or a YouTube video or anything like that. I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, this person must actually know what they're talking about, because they have a whole long form video about this. This is a person who did a full blown deep dive into the subject, and they're just posting this one clip of it, but it makes me want to go and watch the full entire episode that they did on whatever they're talking about. And I found that the clips that I post from my long form videos into short form content on my other social media get a lot of engagement, and maybe not even the most amount of likes, but I do end up having a lot of people who will message me with questions or send me that clip and be like, oh, I really like this, I should go listen to this episode. Or if I post something on my story, they're like, oh, I really like that clip, that's interesting. It's getting a lot more engagement than if I were to post a short form summary of the same kind of topics. So I feel like just being able to deep dive on a topic and really cite your sources and kind of go all in on whatever you're talking about gives you a little bit more credibility than just being like, oh yeah, I know about this, I can talk about it for 30 seconds. But if you're talking about it for 30 minutes, that gives you a little bit more of a base to be like, I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I can actually do a deep dive on this subject. The third thing that YouTube has done for me is it's improved my writing. And I have always been a writer girly at heart. I have never really been somebody who absolutely loves talking or speaking or doing anything like that, and I'll do it. And I did go to acting college, so I know how to do it, but it's not something that I fully enjoy doing. I've always liked writing over speaking, over talking, and I have definitely got a little bit more relaxed with my scripting. But when I'm doing a deep dive educational video, I fully script it out in an essay format first, and then I kind of turn it into a YouTube script, because this is just how it works in my brain, and this is how I can make sure that I'm getting every single thing that I actually want to talk about in the video. But because I'm going into it with the thought process that, okay, I'm going to end up turning this into a script, my writing has gotten so much better, because I'm able to put things into a form that just makes it a little bit more cohesive and helps it flow a little bit better than if I were to just put it in an essay per se. The fourth thing that YouTube has done for my life is it's just made me a more inquisitive person all around, because again, I didn't really know what I was doing. I have had to look up more things since I started posting on YouTube than I've had to look up for any hobby, any side hustle, anything that I've ever done in my life, because I had absolutely no idea where to start. I didn't even understand how to export a video from DaVinci Resolve, and I had to sit there and Google it. I had to watch a full tutorial on it. I have had to watch more tutorials than I think I've watched in my entire 27 years of life combined. But it's kind of fun. It's been really interesting to be like, oh, how do people do that? And if I'm watching somebody else's video and I see that they have an effect or they added something into their video and I'm like, how did they do that? Then I go and I get to look it up and I get to actually learn how to do these things that I would have never thought about doing otherwise, because it wasn't something that I was paying attention to. It wasn't something that I was really even interested in figuring out. But now I am just constantly looking things up and looking up how to improve, how to get better, how to even slightly make a video better or edit it a little bit differently or add some more background noises or adjust the audio. I'm literally trying to figure out everything, and it's been so fun to just ask a bunch of questions and kind of look at things from a very childlike perspective of just like, how does that work? How do you do that? What is going on? What is this? And it's just been so much fun. I am having so much fun with it. Sort of along with point number 4 is the 5th thing that YouTube has done for me is it's made me turn my frustrations into opportunities. So I think when it came to short form content, if I got frustrated with something, say if a video didn't do well, or I feel like I spent a lot of time on something and then it just didn't end up turning out the way I wanted to, I would get so frustrated and it would really weigh on me, because when it comes to short form content, you kind of have that idea like, oh, I have to post every single day. And so when I would put all of my soul into one video and then it was 10 seconds long and then it would flop and do absolutely terribly, I would get so bummed out, and then I would be like, God, I have to do the exact same thing tomorrow. Like, that fucking sucks. But when it comes to YouTube, when I put everything that I have into a video, and then even if it gets maybe 50 views in the first week, I'm not getting as frustrated with it, because I'm just like, okay, there's still an opportunity for this video to get picked up later on, or maybe it's gonna go viral in a year or two. You literally never know. And I just feel like in general, my thought process around long form content is a lot different than it is with short form content, because I think being able to put more time and energy into something that's a little bit longer feels a lot more worth it to me, and it feels like more of an opportunity for me to, again, just kind of have fun with it and try new things. Whereas when it comes to short form content, I do find myself being like, okay, well, I have to post something tomorrow, so I should just get something up today, and then whatever happens, happens, and it's probably not going to do well, so whatever. But I think that since posting on YouTube and since posting more long form content, it has kind of trickled over into my short form content as well, and now I'm really only posting things that I do enjoy making and that I did have fun while I was editing, and that I actually finished the video and was like, okay, I really like this, instead of being like, oh my god, I'm just gonna put this up because whatever, I have to post a video tomorrow. So even if I don't post a video every single day on my other social medias, I'm not beating myself up for that, because I'm like, okay, even though I didn't post, there's no point in getting frustrated, because I just have a little bit more time to focus on making some other video that I actually enjoy, that I'm actually passionate about, and that I actually want to share with people. And the last thing that YouTube has done for my life is, in general, just improved my knowledge around all things fitness and mindset, which is really my main goal in posting these kind of videos and posting more long form content, because I have always been under the belief that you learn the best when you're teaching others. And I think that goes for absolutely anything, but I think that once you're able to actually teach somebody about something, that is when you know that you actually understand it fully yourself. And there have been some things, some video ideas that I was like, I really want to make a video on this, and then when I started scripting it and I started looking up the points that I really wanted to make, I realized, okay, I don't fully understand this concept enough yet to actually teach to other people. And it's been really eye-opening, because some of it's things that I was like, oh no, I understand that, I get that, I could explain it to somebody. But in reality, I could only really talk about it for maybe a few minutes, and then if somebody asked me a question that I didn't know the answer to, I would have been stumped because I didn't actually understand it as well as I thought I did. But this has given me the opportunity to really study things and really dive deep into them and find out more things about the things that I'm already passionate about, which is just so much fun to me, because I really do like learning. I know that as a college dropout, I probably sound like I didn't enjoy learning that much, but I really did like learning. I just only like learning about things that I'm actually interested in, which happens to be fitness and mindset and all things personal development in general. So it's been really exciting to think of a topic, or if I hear somebody else talking about something and they ask a question that I'm like, oh my god, I think I could answer that, or I think I could look into that and then answer this question. And it's just been so much fun, because I feel like I'm constantly just thinking of new ideas and thinking of things that really pique my interest and make me want to look into them a little bit more, and then that gives me more content, but it's also giving me more of an understanding on the things that I'm a little bit curious about, or things that other people in my life are curious about. And I just think overall it's making me, again, kind of have a lot more credibility, but also understand things a lot deeper, which I think is just so important in general, because if this is what I'm going to be talking about and when I'm talking to clients and things like that, I want to know that I know what I'm talking about. And I want my clients and the people that are in my life to know that I know what I'm talking about, because they're going to be able to see, oh, she actually talked about this for nearly an hour, so yeah, I trust that she knows what she's talking about. I trust that she actually did her research, because she has this entire thing written out with all of her sources and everything on it. Overall, I feel like every single video that I watch that's like this, because maybe YouTube is just pushing it out to me because that's what I keep clicking on, but I see a lot of these videos, and every single one of the people are like, YouTube is one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I hate to just be a broken record and agree with all those people, but I really do think it's one of the best things I've ever done, because it has just so much fun, and it's given me such a new kind of outlet, and it really is just teaching me so much that I actually never even thought that I would learn. I always thought like, oh yeah, I'll start posting on YouTube, whatever, it'll be fine. I'll just yap on about things that I know about, but there was so much more that I never even considered, and so many things that I didn't realize that it was going to teach me when it comes to discipline and working through not having the motivation to set up a camera and film, but doing it anyway, and learning new things and studying and researching and actually getting everything laid out in a way that actually makes sense, because sometimes I just be yapping and I actually have no idea what I'm talking about, and then I will watch a part back and I'm like, what did she just say? What is going on here? And I feel like it's just really helping me speak a lot clearer in general, because I notice even in my personal life or when I'm just talking to people, I don't really say like or that much anymore, because it's something that I'm really conscious of when I'm filming videos and when I have a microphone in front of me. And I think little things like that are just really good skills to kind of hone in on, because it does make a difference when you're speaking to somebody that you don't really know and they notice that you kind of just sound like you know what you're talking about, because you're speaking with a little bit more authority and you're not saying like and in every other sentence, and you're not stumbling over your words or getting really awkward or retracting what you're saying. You're just speaking about the things that you know. And I think just in general, that's a really good skill to have. And I'm really happy that I'm working on it, and I can only assume that it's going to get better, because as with anything, the more you do it, the better it should get. At least that's what I hope. And I hope that my editing gets better as well, because that is something that I really want to try to work on over the next few months. That's kind of my Q4 vision board moment. We'll get there when we get there. But as a whole, I just think I'm having so much fun. And I hope that if you're debating on starting to post on YouTube or even post any kind of long form content in general, I hope that this is the push that you needed, because I genuinely don't think there's anything bad that can come out of it. And once you can push past the idea that, oh my god, nobody's gonna watch my videos, I'm gonna have maybe 1 subscriber for like 3 years, if you just kind of assume that that's what's gonna happen, then anything else is a plus. Because when I started, I was like, you know what, I probably won't get anybody to even watch these videos, so anything over 1 view, that's a win in my book, because I wasn't expecting a single person to actually watch it. So I think that if you go into it with that mindset and you just kind of do it because you're enjoying it, and it's because you're talking about things you want to talk about, there is no harm that's going to come from it, and you're only going to have fun as long as you're doing what you actually enjoy talking about. So I know that this was a little bit different of an episode than normal, but I hope that you still got something out of it. And if you plan to start your YouTube journey after this episode, or if you're on yours right now, I want you to drop a comment letting me know how many subscribers you currently have and what your goal subscribers are, because I think that would just be really fun to look back on, because I plan to come back to this video in 6 months from now and see what my progress is like from there. So if you comment your goal, I'll like that comment in 6 months so that you get reminded to actually look back at your goals. But that is all that I've got for you today. So as always, make sure that you check out the link below for my fitness and mindset app so that you can continue your fitness and mindset journey. And until next time, be kind to your mind, to your body, and to others, and happy healing. Can you see my boob sweat? A little bit. Ugh.